welcome to Abu Dhabi days. So last week it was sort of enchanting for me because I attended a storytelling workshop which was presented by the School of Drama in Delhi. So today I like to share the ideas they told to me. So today I'm going to tell you some storytelling tips and techniques. Now let's see the storytelling tips and techniques. The first most important tip and technique needed for storytelling is imagination. What is imagination? Yes, imagination is something that we think which can be real or not real. So, our imagination may be different from everyone. Everybody in the world have different types of imagination. Now, an example of real imagination, like our teeth is growing. An example of imagination which is not real. For example, like we going to the space and taking stars. Will it happen? No, not at all. Okay, now there are two basic ways to improve our imagination. First most basic way is reading. So, you all are lovers of reading books, right? So, if you read books, you can improve your imagination. But how can we do that? Or how is it even possible? When we read a book, we think about the story, what's happening, or we think what's happening in that book. If there are no pictures, if there are pictures, we just look into the picture and understand the scenario happening there. But if there are no pictures, how can we understand the scenario? Yes, we think in our mind. We think like a story is not played in front of us, but in our mind. So, for example, I'm reading a storybook, and the first paragraph of the storybook tells that David is a boy studying in a big city. He is very good in studies and was very kind towards people. So, David was a small boy, you will think that. Or maybe he's a big boy, you will have different type of imagination. So, in that phrase, they just told that David was a boy. So you may think that he's 16 years old, 14 years old, 17 years old, etc. So you all will have different types of imagination. Who lives in a big city? Some people have big city imagination, like there are so many rush. Some have like it's so peace. So many types. If they are giving it was a very rushy city, then you can understand it was very busy. But if they are not giving anything, you can't understand. So you will have different types of imagination. And he's very good in studies. So maybe he gets A plus or he gets 100% in everything. So he's very good in studies. He's kind towards others. So you see a picture of he helping someone or he helping a street dog who was hurt. So you can see different types of imagination there. So like this, you can imagine, you can improve your imagination by reading. Now the second most thing needed for improving our imagination is listening. So, if you're living in another country, then you'll obviously like to go to your own country. So when you go to your own country for vacation, you'll be staying with your grandparents. So maybe your grandmother or grandpa will be interested in telling you stories, or they may be good storytellers. So you may go to them and ask them to tell you stories. So you'll be in great curiosity to listen to their stories. When you're in great curiosity to listen to your stories, you may be thinking what they're telling, like imagining them in your mind, in a full way of picture, like or like a movie in your mind. So maybe your grandma is telling you the famous story of a girl named Heidi who lived in a mountainous area. So when your grandma tells you a story about Heidi, she's a small girl who's 5 years old, going to a mountainous area with her auntie dating. She was orphaned. Her mother and father died when she was small. So you understand, Heidi was a small girl who was 5 years old going to mountainous area. So you will see so many mountains, green grass, sheep grazing, cows grazing, etc. And you will also think about her dirty auntie who's holding her hand and taking her somewhere. And she's an orphan whose mother died, parents died when she was small. So you'll be thinking her parents died, she became sad, you'll be thinking etc. etc. So now she's an orphan. And from that you can understand that listening is a way of improving your imagination. Now reading and listening are two ways to improve your imagination. The word see has three letters in it. The first letter is S, then second is E, the third is Anto E. So the first S stands for simple. Now what is simple? Yes, you have to take a short story, simple, which people can understand easily. You have to use simple language in the story, simple word meanings, etc. Now, how can we make our story simple? Yes, to make your story simple, you should use a simple language. Like you should not use very big words which people can understand. Again, like for example, when you take the word gloomy, the meaning of gloomy is sad and without hope. So instead of using gloomy, you may use the word sad. So people can understand it easily. Maybe all the people in the world does not know the meaning of gloomy. Now this first E stands for effective. Now what is effective? Yes, our story should be effective. It will energetic the people, their interest, etc. Now how can we make our story effective? To make our story effective, we should have voice modulation. Like when we're talking about high things, you have to use high pitch. Talking about like slow things or scared, when people are telling scared, they may use it in slow pitch. So that time you have to use slow pitch. So that's how you can represent voice modulation. Second thing you need for making your story effective is confidence. When you're doing something, you need very big self-confidence in yourself. If you don't have confidence, it'll go just bad. Your story will be bad. So first thing you need is voice modulation. Second thing you need is confidence. Now the third thing you need is expression in voice. Like when you're doing angry type, you have to use angry voice. When you're doing sad, you have to make your voice in a sad tone and slow tone. When you're doing being happy, you have to show your face so happy, jumping with joy, etc. So now the second he represents the word expressive. Now what is expressive? Expressive is an expression that comes in our body, face, voice, etc. Now how can we make our story expressive? Yes, we can make our story expressive by having expression in our voice. Now, is expression in our voice so important for a story? Yes. As I told you in effective, your voice should be really having expressions. Then only people will take it interesting. Then only they may understand the scenario easily. The second thing you need is facial expression. Now, when you're showing happy tone, you have to smile. When you're showing sad tone, you have to frown your face little. Showing angry expression, you have to anchor yourself. Now, the third thing you need is body expressions. Like, you have to do body movement. Like when a lion is coming, ferocious lion is coming, you have to show like this. So, people can understand a lion is coming. Who's so ferocious? Who hates all the animals? Who tries to kill everybody? So, like this, you can improve your storytelling. So, I will use all these things and tell a story in my next video. Watch it and do not miss it. Thank you. Bye.